class of '91, we bring you Zachary Strange.
Folks, my name is Zachary Strange. I'm a master of the art of legerdemain, which is French for never had a girlfriend in high school. Strange is not my real name. It's actually Dubnov. I changed it because nobody could pronounce it. It's Russian Jewish, ethnically Jewish, but they sent me to a Catholic school because I had discipline problems. Straightened my ass right out because I saw what they did to the guy in the chapel. Since I was a young boy, I've always been fascinated with the carnival sideshow. I actually never wanted to be a magician, my parents insisted. I wanted to be a sword swallower. Sword swallowing is a very difficult and dangerous art. There's actually about 25 people in the world practicing it today. I know 3 of them. One of them's punctured his lung, one of them's punctured his esophagus, so that project never really got off the ground. So I thought it would be cool if I found a safer way of doing this effect. So I brought this balloon. What has big balls and hangs down? A male bat. What has big balls and hangs up?
They put Sword swallowing, ancient and difficult art. Thank you. That's it. You can go home now. The great magician Johann Nepomuk Hofzinger said that playing cards were the poetry of magic. With that in mind, I'd like to recite a few dirty limericks. I have a deck of cards here. They're all different on the front and they're all the same on the back. Just like the girls in Beverly Hills. Yeah, local humor, right, Adam? Adam and I come from the same neighborhood in LA. It's Silver Lake. It's a cool place. It's actually so gay that you go in the video store, straight is a section. Playing cards are the poetry of magic. I don't use any trick cards, folks. Only amateurs use trick cards.
What is your name? Yes. I'm sorry? What's that? Amy. Where are you from, Amy? I'm sorry? I said I was sorry. Amy, I'm going to run through the cards with my finger. You say stop. Apparently Amy has a hard time saying stop. It's a joke, Amy. Where would we be without humor? Minnesota? Try that again. Excellent. That's the card we will use. Got it, Amy? Please remember it. Otherwise, the ending doesn't make sense. Amy, I'm going to find your card using my highly tuned sense of smell. I am the only magician on the West Coast that can find cards using smell. Observe. Amy, apparently this is not as impressive as previously anticipated. Accordingly, I will find your card using my highly tuned sense of taste. Nice, baby. Let's just review what happened here, folks. Amy selected a card. I found it. Because that's what I do. After 4 years of college. Every card trick is the same plot. The card is selected, the card is lost, the card is found. That's the basic meta structure of the card trick. However, every card trick also has the same basic flaw. They are just not dangerous enough. That's why I brought along this device. This is a Victor rat trap, designed, produced, and sold for the sole purpose of crushing the spines of small furry animals. Let me show you how it works. The trap consists of 3 parts: the blade, the trigger, and the spring. The blade is held in part and held back by the spring, whereupon the trigger links into the spring like this. Templeton the rat is scurrying through your floorboards looking for a piece of cheese when all of a sudden 700 pounds of pressure per square inch. That's enough force to break the bones in your hand. Bet you're wondering what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to have a card selected. I'm going to place this deck inside the rat trap. I'm going to plunge my hand into the trap. I am going to remove 1 card and 1 card only. Hopefully it will be the selected card. If I succeed, I will get a thunderous round of applause. If I fail, I'm going to be out of the magic business for a while. Let's see. Now we're going to have a different person show
choose the card because you might think Amy is a Confederate. Amy is not a Confederate. She's from Capistrano. Let's see. What is your name, ma'am?
Me?
Yeah.
Rachel.
Rachel, go ahead and say stop.
Stop.
Excellent. Got it? That will be the Rachel card. Now, please remember your card, Rachel, otherwise we both look foolish. Mostly you. Here we go, folks. The incredible rat trap of death. I'm going to set the trap. 700 pounds of pressure. Sorry, I'm a little nervous here. 700 pounds of pressure per square inch, directed right into the vicinity of my hand. The trap is armed. The deck is in the trap. The table is wobbled. Here we go, folks. 1, 2. Folks, I want you to know I really don't like doing this. What you're about to see is actually very dangerous. It's taken a great deal of practice. So far, it has made me neither rich nor famous. But if it brings a smile to your face, it's all been worth it. So I'm going to ask you, do you want to see me pull this card out of this rat trap? I said, do you want to see me pull this card out of this rat trap? Here we go. 1. That wasn't a fake out. I actually lost my nerve on that one. 2. What was the name of your card? 2 of clubs. Guys, you know how magic works. I do the tricks I don't tell you how they're done. And, I look kind of like I'm a jerk. Creates kind of an unnecessary distance between us. So I thought it would be fun if I taught you how to do a magic trick. You would gain a greater, appreciation of the art of prestidigitation. I'm going to teach you the ancient mystery of the blue handkerchief. Here's how it works. We tap the handkerchief into our fist. We say the magic words, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. And the handkerchief is replaced by an egg. And the handkerchief, which was previously in my hand, has traveled to my pocket. Now, this is basically a stupid trick. It rests on a very simple principle. There are 2 handkerchiefs. One here, and one here. Now that you see how it's done, you basically understand the trick. But I'm going to break it down piece by piece. So you'll see every subtle nuance. Just think of it as a Paideia class. To begin with, you're going to need a fake egg with a hole in it. That's what magicians call a gaff. You're going to conceal the fake egg in your hand. That's what we call a palming. Note the natural position of my hand. You wave the handkerchief
Reveal that the handkerchief has changed into an egg, reach into your pocket, take out the other handkerchief, and receive your thunderous applause. Now, there's just a few fine points I want to share with you. First of all, make sure that the handkerchief you put into the egg is the same color as the egg. Secondly, whatever you do, don't show this side of the egg. That's what magicians call flashing. If you flash, you will be in what magicians call a creep. Should you find yourself in this situation, do not panic. You will result to what magicians call an out. This is the out. First, smile at the audience to assure them that nothing is wrong. See, if I do it long enough, I get a second laugh. That's what we call the family guy principle. Acknowledge the mistake by looking at the gaff. Peel the hole off the egg. Crack the egg into the glass. And smile devilishly. Now, folks, I was an English major, specializing in poetry. I submitted this next piece as my creative thesis. Was rejected. I'll tell you a story using cards, rhyme, and wit. Composed by myself, and that is no shock. A story you'll find of two gals and one guy. A soap opera of sorts. Now let's find out why. The first two of three were husband and wife. A king and his queen for most of their life. Now he called her Edith, and she called him Stan, for she was the queen and Stan was the man. Now the king could smile, but Edith could not, for it was child they wanted, but could not begot. Now the king was quite potent, virile, well-made. It was the queen that was barren, for she was spayed. That's worse. Well, the king yearned for a son, someone to carry his name. And soon it was Edith he started to blame. And he turned his attentions to Kate, a comely young lass, with a face like a queen and a fine, shapely ankle. Edith found out, said she could take it no more. She called Stan a bum and his mistress a horrible person. It was Kate that Stan lusted, but he still loved his queen. And so a threesome they became, with the king in between. The King Stan Trio, they came to be known. But a king with two queens would be rocking the throne. For you see, lust and greed don't mix well with fate. And soon it was Edith who lusted for Kate. Well, the two queens in love soon sent Stan away. But the king would return, for he wanted to play. Well, the fighting broke out. Edith screamed, yelled, and hissed, not to mention the king. Boy, was he pretty upset. They refused him quick, sent him outside the walls, and said, "Do not return or we'll cut off your bald head."
But Stan was persistent. He wanted to stay, and so he returned while Kate was away. But Kate did return, much to Edith's delight. But what of King Stan? Nowhere in sight. We're left with two queens, quite happy, rather gay. And what of the king who'd not have his way? And what is the moral? The lesson we've learned from Stan, Kate, and Edith, and the tables they've turned? Well, I've told it to Stan, and now I'll tell it to you. You can't have your Kate. We got some wonderful people up here. We've got to get some kind of wonderful person up here on stage. Got a young man back there. What's your name? Alex. You want to come up and help me? Would that be exciting? Give me a hand, Alex. What's your name, sir? Frank? What's your major? Over there. Stand right above the trap door there. How old are you, Frank? 10. That's exactly how old I was when I was your age. Frank, I'm going to teach you a magic trick. Does that sound exciting? I'm going to teach you the ancient mystery of the Chinese linking rings. One of the oldest tricks in the history of magic. Goes back over 2,000 years ago. It's done with these 4 rings. Ring number 1. Ring number 2. Ring number 3. And ring number 4. 4 separate solid bands of steel. Now, Frank, that is your real name. Do you know which one this is? Which one do you think it is? Absolutely correct. Take ring number 1. Examine it closely. You see any holes in the ring? No? And this one. See, without this hole, we'd be doing the ancient history of the Chinese linking hubcaps. Ancient mystery of the Chinese linking rings. Or as they say in France, l'installation de Chinois linking rings. Hold the ring like this. I'm going to go right through there. Does that feel like a solid spot? Here's where I'm going to go through on mine. Hold it like this. Perfect. There we go. Does that feel solid? Touch it. Touch it to make sure. Solid? Okay. We got solid steel through solid steel. Hold just a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solid steel through solid steel. A miracle of penetration. That's the first part. That's putting them together. Now we're going to take them apart. We rub them together in a circular fashion. We blow in the center. One ring passes right to the other. Now are you paying close attention, Fred? Were you paying close attention? Because it's your turn next. I'm going to show you how this trick works. You can go home, show your friends, and get that same lousy reaction. Ring number 1, ring number 2. Hold them in your right hand, away from your body. Face the audience. A assume an air of command. Check ring number 3 and ring number 4. They're going to do as I did, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the linking rings. First time ever. My student. Here we go, Frank. We're going to take them apart, rub them together in a circular fashion. Blow in the center. Just like that. One ring passes right through the other. As soon as that happens, you take the ring in your left hand. Right hand to your left arm. Right hand to your right hand. Grab hold of the bottom ring, turn your body to the left, and one slow, graceful motion. Take that on the stay with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This move is a little dangerous. You're going to spin the rings like this. They're going to unlink right there. They're going to go hurtling directly at your head at a speed of about 25 miles an hour. You're going to catch the oncoming ring with your left arm. If you miss, you're going to get bumped in the mouth. Are you ready, Frank? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. As soon as they come apart, you take this same ring, toss it up in the air. Catch the ring in your right hand, hold them both high above your head. Take it out. I'm going to show you some more advanced moves with the rings. A quick twist of my ring, you get one long chain of 4. Ooh. Another quick twist and every ring is linked back onto a central ring. The only way to get these rings off is to count them off. I want you to count them all with me. This is ring number 4. Ring number 2. 3. Ring number 2. These are broken. Do me a favor, lady friend, just blow in the center. Since the dawn of time, ladies and gentlemen, one magic trick has stood head and shoulders above the rest in defining the skill of a magician. I am speaking, of course, of the ancient mystery of the ketchup bottle. First performed by Egyptian priests, who would take an earthenware jar of vinegar and peppers and lower it into a paper grocery sack. The priest would then intone terrible oaths as he turned the bag over to reveal that the bottle vanished. Those were simpler times. This is the 21st century, and I will show you the new method. One quick wave with my hand, and the bottle is It's obvious to me that you people don't appreciate my art. I know what you're thinking. Sure, this guy's talented. And he exudes a certain dark sensuality that I find both fascinating and terrifying.
Unfortunately, the answer is no. I'm actually so bad at rope tricks I can't even tie a decent knot. I should figure this out. This goes back to my childhood. I got kicked out. Every knot I tied would just disappear. I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts for this. Lawsuits. But the union rules say that I have to have at least one rope trick. And this one is no exception. So without further ado, I present to you the trick with the 2 equal pieces of rope. To do the trick with the 2 equal pieces of rope, I have to cut the rope exactly in the center, which will give me 2 equal... Yeah, those pieces aren't exactly equal. Folks, mind if I start over? I know what I did wrong. Before I cut the rope, I was supposed to take the ends of the rope and put them in my pocket. Now that leaves me with a rope with no ends. That's a violation of the laws of physics. And I'm going to get a ticket again. So I'll take the ends of the rope, put them back on the rope, thusly. Taking us back to where we started, a regulation rope, exactly as specified in the union rules, 2 ends and 1 middle. You have to use a rope like this. You can't use one of those trick ropes that has 3 ends and only 1 middle. You also can't use a rope that has 4 ends. If you have 4 ends, you have to have 2 ropes. Obviously, I don't have 2 ropes, I just have the 1 rope. I know what I did wrong. I was actually supposed to put the ends of the rope in my pocket. I was supposed to take them off the rope. I was just supposed to know. Here in the middle of the rope in my pocket. Maybe I should start over. The trick with the 2 equal pieces of rope. To do the trick with the 2 equal pieces of rope, I have to cut the rope exactly in the center, which will give me... That's okay, I can fix this. All I have to do is to take the ends of the rope, put them together into my hand, and say the magic words, Shadrach, Meshach. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. And the pieces are equal. Now there's a knot. It's okay, I know what to do. You take the 2 ends of the rope, put them together, and I can stretch the ropes, and at last I have the 2 equal pieces of rope. Now that I have the 2 equal pieces of rope, I can perform for you the trick with the 2 equal pieces of rope. Unfortunately, I forget what that is. Sorry, folks, it all goes back to my childhood when I was terrible at tying.
Originally Barry Hansen, class of '63. Great to be here at Red Fair once again. I've been to quite a few reunions, but this one is extra special because it is my 50th.